So what's up, my beautiful people, man? We got some people in here already this morning. Good morning, Mamar. Good morning. Good morning. Man, it's been raining out here in Connecticut, man, for the last 2 days straight, man. Thank God we got some weather without rain, but it's still windy out here, man. It's real windy. As you guys come into the stream, can y'all please double tap the screen for me, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Good morning, Miss Patricia. We out here in New England. You know what I'm saying? Out here in Connecticut. We're on the We the People tour. It's an outside tour, man. I've been doing it since July 15th. You know what I'm saying? It's probably about a good 45 degrees and windy out here, man. And I'm braving the outdoors to bring y'all this great content, man. We got a lot to talk about this morning. If you guys didn't know, President Trump, he just returned from I guess that's Southeast Asia. You know what I'm saying? He met up with the Chinese president, Xi Jinping, over in South Korea. There was a lot to discuss, man. Amongst things to discuss was Russia and buying Russian oil. Like, out of all the things that President Trump could have talked to the Chinese president about, a lot of people probably wouldn't rank Russia and Chinese participation in funding, willingly or unwillingly, or Chinese participation in willingly ending, or help to end the conflict in Ukraine. So I think it's so important, though, for us as Americans to pay attention to that conflict because of the simple fact that Russia and China are our biggest foes in this world. Geopolitically, militarily, any kind of way, they are the biggest foes that we have. So it's important, in my opinion, that we do not allow Putin to violate the international order since the world wars, where no leader or country or dictator or war criminal is allowed to take another country's sovereign land. And that's what he's doing in Ukraine. Being that China, another geopolitical foe, more probably financially, the second largest economy in the world, being that they are the biggest buyers of Russian oil, and China and Russia is trying to eliminate American power and influence in the world, I think that meeting with President Trump was very important, and addressing that conflict and handling that conflict with Russia, and doing so with the Chinese, who have their eyes on Taiwan, by the way. They want to redraw international borders as well. You know, that meeting was very important. So we're going to analyze it a little bit, get into it a little bit. The clash of the Titan, President Trump and Xi Jinping. If you guys come in the stream, if y'all on a cell phone, I ask y'all to double tap the screen for me. Like the video. It's free to show some love. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Guys, this is day 108. We outside. 15 days left outside on tour. We the People. We the People number 10 is coming in November, guys. The final We the People. Number 10 is coming from New York City. Y'all stay tuned for that. Guys, there are literally 100 things that President Trump had to sort out with Xi. That's the Chinese president. We call him Xi this morning, okay? So understand there's a lot going on in the world. And listening to President Trump speak from Air Force One on the flight home, he touched on almost all of those conversations with Xi. Realistically speaking, President Trump can't get 15 resolutions for 15 major problems all in one meeting, one conversation. But he got a couple of resolutions, and I'll say that was good enough. He's supposed to be meeting again with Xi in China in April, and then in 2027, they're supposed to be meeting, I think, somewhere in America, okay? The thing is to engage in dialogue, okay? But if President Trump isn't able to discern from his relationship with Putin that those hardline Asian communist countries, okay? We talking about China, we talking about Russia, we talking about North Korea, we talking about Iran. That's what the former Republican president, President George Bush, called the axis of evil. These same nations, these same group of nations that oppose America, okay? They just naturally stand opposed to the United States and to the West. China, being the world's second largest economy, is naturally a geopolitical foe, or should I say a rival of the United States. So when President Trump is talking to Xi, it's hardline negotiation going on. So we got to understand that as we analyze that meeting. But that being said, I'm not going to hold you guys here with the commentary this morning. I'll mix it up with the news as we go along, as usual. So let's jump down into the news. So the source for this news story was CBS News, and it was published yesterday, October the 30th. President Trump called his meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping and South Korea Thursday amazing, and said the two reached agreements on a number of terms, including a resumption of U.S. soybean sales to China and a short-term deal for access to rare earth minerals. No documents formalizing the agreements have been released yet. However, just reading that right there, you got to always remember President Trump is a business president, okay? So just reading that right there, that just lets me know that he went to get deals on the two major things that he was concerned with, primarily economically. And I would say that's probably what the Chinese would be concerned with too, because of the tariffs. You know what I'm saying? So I would say the two things that he probably was worried about the most, like had to get done today, is the soybean sales that have been killing our farmers, man. Our farmers have not been doing good whatsoever. They didn't do good the first 4 years, President Trump. They're not doing good this term. You know what I'm saying? So it's a positive thing that President Trump recognizes that, you know what I'm saying, early in his administration this time, what his economic policy actually does to the American farmers. And he addressed that first. So you could say shout out to him, soybean sales for all the farmers. That's good news. And then rare earth minerals, we understand how important that is to America. So Mr. Trump also said he would trim fentanyl-related tariffs on China, the war on drugs. These moves should ease tensions between the two superpowers for now, though the president did not mention any long-term deals that had been reached. Xi has not personally made public statements since the meeting. Mr. Trump said that he agreed to reduce tariffs on Chinese goods by 10%, which he said would bring the rate down from 57% to 47%. So it's still a substantial number. The president told reporters he expects to sign an agreement on trade pretty soon, although he said also he's likely to renegotiate it in future years. I know a lot of Americans have a problem with tariffs, okay? And if you guys know Ghostwriter and if you guys follow the content, you would know I told you guys from day one that I believe, look, America in different situations, I would say throughout the history, I would say the use of tariffs probably would not be a good idea. But in today's situation with a $38 trillion debt, I'm saying unless you just have some sort of rocket genius plan to raise a whole lot of money or to make a whole lot of money at one time, you talking about 38 trillion. If Elon gave you every dollar he had to his name, you are barely touching that debt. If you put all the rich men together, all of their riches together, 38 trillion is a whole lot of money, guys. So to be able to combat that, you have to increase the revenue. I've given this example 1,000 times. It's not the same talking points, or maybe it is, but it's so relevant to this conversation. It's important, me as a small American, to let my voice be heard about this situation about tariffs. If you and your wife, say I have a wife, okay, and say we got $3,000 a month in bills, and say with my income, and she's a stay-at-home mom for our two children, but with my income, say my income is taking care of the bills and it's giving us enough for savings, which is a little bit extra, $100. So say if my wife came and said that she was pregnant, and so we're planning to have another baby. So that couple $100 extra a month, we need that now. That's not enough for daycare. We can't dip in the savings. What we gonna do, honey? We coming up short on the bills every month now. What we gonna do? We gonna go get some more credit? You guys got to realize that America is paying more in the interest on the debt of their credit card. They're not paying the credit card bill, just the interest on the debt. You know how $35 minimum payment, $200 minimum payment, you just paying the interest. You're not knocking off none of the debt. That's what kind of situation we in our debt. So in a situation like that, baby, like we can't get no more debt. We keep on borrowing. We trying to get out the hole. How do we get out the hole? You got to increase the revenue. Daddy or mama can't work. She got to take care of the kids. She pregnant again. Daddy got to get a second job and bring some more money into the house. So America getting a second job and bringing more money in the house is the tariffs. I'm saying unless you could come up with some other way besides raising taxes. Because if it's up to Ghost, I would tax the rich. Ghost would tax the rich too with the tariffs. I would be super hyper into getting back the money or getting some of that money out of that debt, out of that hole, out them deficits. So yes, I believe in taxing the rich and I believe in tariffs. It's just that President Trump, he has to balance the tariff money appropriately. So what he needs to do is, just like he's doing right now, because I knew when my first time when I was president, I realized this. First time when I was president, I realized that we had a problem with the farmers. For some reason, what I was doing, the help I was providing, it was coming up short with helping the farmers. The farmers going bankrupt. So while he's sitting back like Pac, you know what I'm saying, how Pac was in jail, they write Project 2025, he waiting for them next 4 years he could get out and come back in and do his thing. He came back in flying, man. Then the agenda dropping everything. So I'm dropping everything now, and I know these tariffs is going to hurt the farmers. So I'm on top of that. Ghost already got tariff money right now today. He's got tariff money right now today. Listen to me. Tariff money right now today for the farmers 10 months in. Okay? First project he's talking about with G is the soybean. You stop buying soybean from U.S. farmers. And see, that's another thing with Russia, because Russia and China, they're in cahoots with this together. And what they're doing is they're trying to listen, the last time that President Trump declared a trade war on China, you know what China said? They said that it's a survival situation. I mean, he going to beef going up from, say, I'm throwing out a number that y'all don't hold me to this, say $25 a pound, not a beef, $50, $75 a pound. What? We can't afford this. So we going to start buying Russian beef. We going to strengthen an alliance, BRICS, so we can try to devalue or manipulate, or if we can get rid of the U.S. dollar off the leader, being the leader at least, make the United States a third world nation. That's what China and Russia's goal is, man. They want to be able to operate without the United States putting sanctions or tariffs and being able to control the situation. You want to say, why does the United States need to control the situation? Because imagine a world where Putin could, without no check, say, hey, I'm finna go take back Ukraine. Okay, now Ukraine belongs to Putin. Without the United States, right now, Ukraine belongs to Putin. Agreed or disagreed? And if he gonna take back Ukraine, why he gonna stop there? If you can't stop him, imagine the United States gone. The only things there, the most powerful nations is England, Spain, and France, and Italy, and Germany. So if he take Ukraine, he might as well take all of Europe. That's what I'm saying. So it's important that the United States is there to maintain the world order. No, Putin, it's not right to take nobody's piece of nobody's land. Bad boy. Because your buddy Xi Jinping and the Chinese, they ready to do that with the Taiwan. It's not right to do that. You need structure, and the United States provides structure in the world, okay? The president said he's easing tariffs because China pledged to work with him on the deadly fentanyl crisis. Y'all know how big that is in the United States right now, the drug problem. I support the United States striking boats in Venezuela. If listen, what Secretary Hegseth said, he said that he is confident that the United States has the correct intelligence. They know where the guys are coming before they get to the drug boat. They see the drugs being loaded on the drug boat, and they know when the drug boat is leaving. They know who the gentlemen are that's going on the drug boat. You have to trust American intelligence. I trust American intelligence. And if American intelligence is delivering that information, I don't see why. Okay, people will say that Marco Rubio has a bone to pick. Yes, maybe he does. But can you litigate a case that say the Venezuelan president isn't at least complicit to selling $1 million worth of drugs coming through Venezuela? At least complicit if he isn't participating in it. So a regime change in Venezuela would not be bad for the world, not be bad for America or South America. It'd be a good thing. A regime change in Colombia would not be bad for the world. It would be a great thing. So striking drugs out the water, I don't not support that. What the danger in that though, listen, the danger in that, Secretary Hicks said, is if they ever could prove that you struck a boat that was not a drug boat, that would be criminal almost. So that's a dangerous endeavor to embark on. But if you're confident that you're getting drug dealers, then I'm saying I do not support like that. That's not a strategical move. That's tactical. So tactically, if someone who is against that, they could say, hey, Secretary Hicks, if y'all hitting them drug boats, but you're not going to stop the... Let's look at Nancy Reagan and that war on drugs. We keep hearing war on drugs. You can't stop drugs. So that, what I'm saying, you got tactical. He needs something strategical. He needs strategical moves. And I told him that Nobel Peace Prize in Venezuela, that's part of your strategical move. But y'all, I'm going to get back into the content, okay? So we talking about fentanyl in China. China's the world's largest exporter of the precursor chemical. The chemicals. Precursor. The chemicals they use to make fentanyl, which has been a long-standing complaint of the president. Levying 47% tariffs on Chinese imports would still mean China has one of the highest tariff rates. Mr. Trump said that the additional 100% on imports, tariffs on imports from China, which he previously said would take effect on November 1st, would not be implemented. Xi and China have not said what they would do to curb fentanyl production. I'm saying I'm not sure what President Trump could do either, but hey, he's trying. That's what Senator Sanders is realizing and what he has realized. That the Democrats were trying to say or portray that there's nothing wrong with America. How can there not be nothing wrong with America and you got a $38 trillion debt? That's step number one. You paying, imagine, guys, listen, I ain't got all the credit cards. I ain't got the Capital One card with me. You know what I'm saying? But I do. So that's two of them. I'm saying I'm paying more on this credit card, on the interest. Minimum payment, Mr. Dixon, $125 a month. Your total balance is $1,483. What Mr. Dixon trying to do is pay the whole $1,483. But what I'm saying is what the United States is doing on that $38 trillion, they paying $135. They paying just the interest. They not knocking off the debt. The debt is increasing. So what I'm saying is President Trump, at least he could say, hey, America does have a problem. We do have problems in our country that need to get fixed. And the Democrats are not able to say that. They weren't able to realize that. They weren't able to recognize that. So the American people were listening to what President Trump said. We do have problems. It's just that the Democrats say they want to fix it in a different way than President Trump does. That's where the argument should be. As you guys come into the stream, I ask that y'all double tap the video for me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. So Mr. Trump said Beijing will delay its recently announced export restrictions on rare earth minerals for 1 year, a delay he expects to be routinely extended. Mr. Trump claimed the rare earth issue had been settled. China produces as much as 95% of the world's rare earth magnets, according to energy research company Wood Mackenzie. And they're used to make everything from semiconductor chips to missiles. We have a deal now, the president said aboard Air Force One on the way back from South Korea. Every year we'll negotiate the deal, but I think the deal will go for a long time, long beyond the year. We'll negotiate it at the end of the year, but all the rare earth has been settled. So what Mr. Trump is saying, that he has an agreement with the Chinese on the problem with the rare earth minerals, in which the Chinese produce 95% of. So basically, you about have to go through China. But he said he has a deal that has to be negotiated every year. So this year he has a deal, but 2026 they'll have to negotiate another deal. And y'all remember, he's going to meet up with Xi in China in April next year, tentatively scheduled. Mr. Trump also announced on Truth Social that Xi authorized China to begin purchasing massive amounts of soybeans and other farm products for the United States. That's a win for U.S. farmers. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're independent. I don't care if you're a Democrat. That is a win for U.S. farmers. So salute to that. Soybeans have been a serious point of contention between the United States and China after China, typically the largest buyer of U.S. soybeans, stopped buying them altogether as a rebuke of Mr. Trump's tariff regime. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told Fox News on Thursday that China had pledged to return to regular levels of soybean purchases each year for the next 3 years. So at least that deal lasts for 3 years and not a year. And that China agreed to purchase 12 million metric tons of soybeans this season. That's a win. That's a big win. That's a whole lot of money. And I'm not hating on that whole lot of money. President Trump, he got investments, a whole lot of money from other countries in South. He a rock star on the world scene. We just want him to be a rock star domestically, too. And Ghost trying to tell him how to be a rock star domestically, too. So Mr. Trump did not make any announcements about a finalized agreement to keep TikTok running in the U.S., although Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that they received Chinese approval of a deal to transform ownership of the company, so it's no longer under the umbrella of a Chinese company. Still, Bessent said that the matter would be resolved in the coming weeks or months. In Kuala Lumpur, we finalized the TikTok agreement in terms of getting Chinese approval, Bessent said on Fox Business. And I would expect that should go forward in the coming weeks and months, and we'll finalize to see a resolution to that. On Sunday, Bessent said Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan that the administration was close to a deal to separate TikTok from its Chinese owner, ByteDance, and that Mr. Trump and Xi would sign something Thursday. No announcement on this came from the meeting, though. Hey guys, like if you guys are TikTokers as well and you guys care about TikTok, I could understand that. I understand that TikTok is a big issue, a big point of contention in which they spoke about. But what I want to say though, in my opinion though, I'm not really too concerned about TikTok. I think that's going to work itself out. It's too big to fail. CBS News has asked the Treasury Department for clarification on Scott B's remarks about securing Chinese approval. China will work with the U.S. to properly resolve issues related to TikTok, Chinese Commerce Ministry said after the meeting, the Associated Press reported. So there you have it. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, I think that's pretty much, they're still working that out. I mean, I think bigger issues than TikTok needed to be discussed if President Trump was going to discuss or deal with the issue like on Wednesday or Thursday. In that 2-hour meeting with Xi, I think there was so much more to be discussed by them of a greater magnitude than TikTok. You're not going to tell that to those millions of TikTokers who make a living off TikTok. You can't tell them that, of course. But I'm saying with world peace or with that Russia-Ukraine situation, and me understanding the magnitude of Russia and China attempting to challenge U.S. authority on the world stage and create a new world order, a new frontier. How would the world look without the United States being the leader? How would the world look with Xi or Putin intervening in a conflict with Israel? Think about this. So Israel and Iran is having their normal spats, and the United States isn't the world leader. The United States only responds to conflicts in North and South America. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some parts of Europe. But say Israel's all the way in Asia, so that's on China's depression side. And say that Iran and Israel get into a conflict. You know, Israel is our friends. Those are our closest allies. Some of our closest allies in Asia, of course. So I'm saying, or say India or Pakistan, another nation, Japan, the Philippines. You know what I'm saying? The Philippines, they speak straight English as their first language. So say one of America's friendly nations, allies or neighbors, say if they are invaded by Putin or Putin poking them in the eye. You got to think about that. The world will look completely different without the United States being the world leader. So that's why we want to maintain that. And the way you maintain that, you got to show strength against Asian nations, especially, mainly, namely, China and Russia. Mr. Trump has repeatedly delayed enforcing a law Congress passed banning TikTok from operating in the U.S. as long as it's operating under its China-based parent company, and the Supreme Court upheld that ban. Mr. Trump said he and Xi did discuss chips, and Xi would be talking with Nevada and others. Mr. Trump said he'll speak with CEO Jensen Huggin as China seeks to buy U.S.-made chips. The president said whether China purchases chips from Nevada is largely up to Nevada and Beijing after the U.S. imposed restrictions on Chinese purchase of U.S.-made chips, citing national security reasons. Chips could be used to promote China's military and artificial intelligence capabilities. I said, that's between you guys. But we're sort of an arbitrator and the referee, Mr. Trump said. I asked you guys in the stream this morning that you guys will like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Also, guys, everyone is welcome. I just ask that you guys will be respectful to others. I welcome you guys, Republicans, Independents, and Democrats. Jump down in the comment section and guys, let your voices be heard. Y'all, let's start the conversation. One last thing, we do have to pay the bills. I do not have any sponsors yet. I'm not taking money from any party, just you guys. So super chats, super stickers, super thanks, they all start at 99 cents. If you want to donate to the channel, if you want to start a conversation or have your conversation read, hit that button with the $sign in it, and your donations are much appreciated. Guys, we got another news story to go over, but before I get into that news story, man, I kind of want to jump down in the comments with you guys, man. I want to see what you guys talking about. Yes, indeed, Big Ghost want to see what y'all talking about in the comment section, man. I'm trying to get the feel of the American people. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said I need to stop being lazy. You know, I need to get out there some more and do some more interviews and talk with the people, man. But I'm trying to see what you guys trying to say. You guys' thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So Tammy says America complains about ByteDance and possible surveillance. What about Google? I don't know, Tam. What you saying about Google? What's the problem? What problems do we have with Google? Is that Renavo? He said those problems always had a problem before Trump. President Trump needs to clean up the mess of the president. I think that's what he's attempting to do. You know what I'm saying? And then hearing you saying that, I agree that, you know what I'm saying? That's what he's attempting right now. And I think that's what he needs to continue to try to do. You know, I mean, like every president, every administration after President Trump, hopefully they come in with saying that we're going to try different things to bring about real results and real solutions. Win, lose, or draw. You You know what I'm saying? So that's great about President Trump. So guys, y'all keep the comments going, you know what I'm saying, this morning. Guys, the source for this next news story is the Associated Press. It was published, on October the 30th. U.S. President Donald Trump once again said he had an amazing meeting Thursday with Chinese top leader Xi that produced very important decisions. The first official Chinese comments on the meeting were less specific and suggested that there has not been any trade deal done. Trump met with Xi on the sidelines of the Pacific Rim Summit gatherings in South Korea, while the two leaders agreed to dial back some of their trade measures and work together to resolve others. Well, that's some sort of a deal, right? They're saying no deal has been done, that the two leaders agreed to dial back some of their trade measures and work together. That's some sort of a deal. The 1 hour and 40-minute meeting's agenda appears to not have touched on some perennial problems such as tensions over the self-governed island of Taiwan. But Trump said China had agreed to buy large quantities of American farm products and to ensure steady supplies of rare earth elements used in many industries. Here are some of the key takeaways from the meeting based on comments by Trump and U.S. and Chinese officials. Trump told reporters while heading home on Air Force One that he agreed to cut his 20% tariff increase imposed over China's role in producing fentanyl and chemicals used to make it to 10%. China confirmed that they will take average tariffs on Chinese goods to 47, down from 57. The two sides agreed to work continually on cracking down on illicit flows of drugs into the United States. That's just the whole thing, guys, just working to solve the problem, making the attempt. I think that's what counts with President Trump. He's making an effort, an honest effort. Some people saying that he's starting a fire with the tariffs, putting on the tariffs and going over looking like the hero, putting off the flyers by taking off some of the tariffs that he started to put on himself. I'm saying if you could look at it that way, that's a perspective. I always push back on the tariff argument because I believe that the tariffs are necessary in the United States. Unless you have some other form of a way that America can increase its revenue, look at the growth, the GDP. You know what I'm saying? Look, I want to look up something. Let's see if the new GDP numbers came out. That's what we finna look up right now, real quick, guys. We looking for new GDP numbers, the newest GDP numbers. New GDP numbers. We had 3.8% in September, man. 3.8% growth. Listen to that, y'all. 3.8% growth. That's for April, May, June. July, August, and September. That's what we're looking for next, those numbers. I said this a couple of days ago, bro. It don't matter what kind of business you have. In the United States, you're talking about an economy, $10 trillion. You see what I'm saying? So 3 to 4% growth in a 3-month time on $10 trillion, that's a lot of growth. If he can continue to repeat that, I'm not saying his economy is perfect. It's far from perfect. It's not really benefiting the poor people at all. Cutting the poor people's programs. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're not talking about a government shutdown. I'm actually analyzing his meeting with Xi and the importance and what he accomplished with meeting with Xi. You know? So other tariffs increases remain in place, but for now, the two sides have extended a truce on even steeper tariff increases that began in May when Trump said Xi agreed to allow time to work on a framework for resolving trade tensions. Trump said he discussed U.S. sale of computer chips to China. Trump and former President Joe Biden had imposed restrictions on access to most advanced chips, such as those used for artificial intelligence. China will speak with Silicon Valley chip maker Nvidia about purchasing their computer chips, he said. That won't include its next generation Blackwell AI chip, he said. But a lot of the other chips, we have made great chips, Trump told reporters on Air Force One, and the videos deleted. If you guys have not liked the video, I ask that you double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell, guys. Trump said the Chinese side has committed to buying a tremendous amount of American soybeans and other foreign products. The Chinese side did not provide any details, but of course, U.S. Sky B says 25 metric tons. They'll start with 12 metric tons between now and January. That is a whole lot of soybeans for the farmers, U.S. farmers. So that's great news for that. Beijing took aim at U.S. agricultural exports soon after Trump began announcing hikes on tariffs after he returned to the White House in January. Beijing had experience with President Trump with this from the first term in that trade war. Cutbacks in Chinese purchases of soybeans, beef, and other products have hit U.S. farmers hard, so that's what we're talking about. Farmers should see immediately go out and buy more land and larger tractors. The farmer said, man, we've been losing. We been getting hit hard. And President Trump, he heard it. He just wanted to make sure you heard what he said. He said, hey, you shouldn't be worried about bouncing back from total destruction, from survival. I think President Trump, like if they was just in a regular situation where they were chilling, and you know what I'm saying, they got some big stimulus, you know what I'm saying, then they could go get more land and larger tractors. But I'm saying from what I'm hearing from the farmers, what's up, Ty? What's up? You guys come in, y'all double tap that screen for your boy Ghost Rider, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm saying I could hear the farmers, man, them saying that, you know, guys, we've been decimated. Over the last 2, 3, 4 months, the farmers have been completely hurt, man. Going bankrupt, selling equipment, selling farms. So for President Trump to go over to China and to say, hey, I came up with a deal, a solution, and I got a stimulus, he's trying to save them, but I don't think they're going to go buy more land and tractors. I think for the ones who did get destroyed, they're going to try to bounce back to the spot that they were in. That's what people don't understand about a lot of people after the short-term pain or the devastation is caused by some of these economic moves in their life or from other issues, other reasons. For me, it's from legal things, legal issues. The devastation caused, I'm saying when you do the process of indemnification, that means the process of restoration. Sometimes the restoration, I mean, you just throwing something out. Okay, you threw some millions, some billions of dollars at the farmers. I'm saying you got to give them a second to get back to where they were. You trying to jump them up saying more, bigger tractors and more land. Nah, we can't do that. We got destroyed. We trying to come back from destruction. How we going to go get bigger tractors and more land? Not yet. You guys feel what I'm talking about? I'm saying, like, if you just sitting at the house, you lost a job, you have a comfortable savings, you got $30,000, so I spent $5,000. But, oh, President Trump, he threw me a bone, so hey, we back in there. You know what I'm saying? If you got hit hard and you ain't got no savings, and so you in debt borrowing money trying to stay afloat. And so that couple of, I'm saying, because even if it's billions for the farmers, like you got to divide that to all the farmers, the soybean farmers across America. You got to split it up and divvy it up, and it's going to take some time for the money to get there. And everybody know you got to spend money to make money. So President Trump, I don't know about immediately going out to buy more land and larger tractors. But I get your point, though. He just want to let y'all know that, hey, I'm trying to address the issue or the situation, okay? U.S. soybean industry grew in response to China's demand starting back in the 1990s. Those were the roaring 90s, when China began its rapid economic rise and turned to foreign producers to help feed its people. Protein-rich soybeans are an essential part of the diet. While China relies on domestic crops for steamed beans and tofu, it needs far more soybeans for oil extraction, and animal feed. In 2024, China produced 20 million metric tons of soybeans while importing more than 105 metric tons. There's no specific details on other purchase agreements. So out of those 105 metric tons, at least to start to the end of the year, 12 metric tons of soybeans coming to the United States. Let's look up how much is 1 metric ton of soybeans. So we'll see about how much money President Trump's deal made for, let's see, US dollars. So that's about $1,000 for 1 metric ton of soybeans. Unless I got something wrong. He said 1 metric ton of soybean is about $1,000. That's y'all. Let me see if I'm wrong. This is according to the U.S. Soybean Export Council. Let's see. Simplified soybean pricing. 60 pounds. 1 metric ton of soybean is 36.74 bushels. I want to see the price, man. Because I know that price is not right, man. Because if that price is right, I'm saying like them farmers, they going to need some help, man. A lot of help. I think that's the problem with those tariffs. And I think that's why that tariff policy is so unpopular. Because President Trump, and I know he's waiting on that court date that for the Supreme Court to decide on a lot of those tariffs coming up in November. Next week gonna be a big week, guys, for politics. We're not gonna be able to get to next week, New York City next week, but I'm saying you got a race between a Democrat and a Republican for governor in Virginia. Okay, we're gonna get back to the news in just a second. Okay, I'm kind of freestyling a little bit with it, but look, I just want to look at the poll. Virginia governor's race poll. Who y'all think winning? Who y'all think winning? Y'all got the Democrat or the Republican in the Virginia governor's race poll? Let's see. So I got all the polls. I got Spanberger. That's the Democrat. The Spanberger and all of the polls that I see. SoCal Strategies, Roanoke College, A2 Insights, Insider Advantage, all the polls I see besides YouGov, including YouGov, Spanberger is winning by large numbers. And YouGov polls, she winning 47% to 42%. So in Virginia, unless I'm looking at a wrong poll, y'all, it look like the Democrat is going to do really well. What y'all want to say? Who else? New Jersey? Who winning in governor's race in New Jersey? In New Jersey, the other state, Virginia and New Jersey? How the Republicans doing? How the Republicans doing in New Jersey? I just want to look. Democrat Mickey Sherrill has slight, hold on a second. No, we don't want to do that. Has slight lead in race for New Jersey governor. So Mickey Sherrill. Let's see how much is a slight lead. Amongst those who already cast ballots, she's got a 21 point lead, 56 to 35. But currently, she has a slight lead, so that's two races. It looked like New Jersey and Virginia, if I'm not mistaken, the Democrats are up. Prop 52, you know what I'm saying? That Prop 52 in California, the Democrats, they winning in that race too. And so the last race that we would be able to talk about would be, what's the fourth contention? Because it looked like the Democrats are going to be looking good for next week, November 5th. So President Trump, he's got a court case where I think it's an appeals court is going to decide on the tariffs, man. I told you guys I am supportive of the tariffs. I think the tariffs are a necessary evil. But the reason why I went on that rabbit hole or did the weed to get back to the tariff conversation is because whoever's been affected by the tariffs, the American people, and I said this months ago, you guys, how y'all could go back and look at the under the video tabs, under the content. I said this months ago, for all the Americans who have been affected by the tariffs, what should happen is President Trump should have had a stimulus package, or he should have had something of waiting for him. He should have had something for him. He should have been prepared, just like he's prepared with these farmers and the problems that they're going through, or he's able to see that. I'm saying he should recognize the other American businesses that have been decimated by the tariffs. It might have been a necessary evil, but I'm saying not. You can't just give like a $600-800 stimulus check in the end to the American consumers and think that they're gonna come flocking back to you. That's what I'm saying. And that's what we'll talk about tomorrow. I didn't want to really get into it today. That's why I think President Trump will win on a million levels if he calls the king, man. If he makes a deal with the Democrats, if he crosses party lines. You know what I'm saying? So we talked about the no TikTok deal. We talked about the rare earths as well, guys. We've been streaming about 50 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to let's look at China's take on the meeting. So Xi noted that negotiating teams from both countries had reached a consensus, a likely reference to talks held in Malaysia last weekend, according to a report on the meeting distributed by state media. The Chinese leader said the team should complete follow-up work as soon as possible to deliver tangible results that will provide peace of mind to China, the United States, and the rest of the world. The recent twists and turns in the relationship offer lessons for the United States and China. Xi said the U.S. and China should have positive interactions on the global stage that demonstrate their responsibility as major powers to achieve positive results for their countries and the world. He said, of course Xi gonna say that. And that's what President Trump said. They've been spitting game. Look how Putin's spitting game at President Trump. You know how, I just thought of this, how President Trump has said these countries have played the United States for thousands of years. All these nations getting over on the United States. What President Trump, what Putin's doing with you in Ukraine is just a further demonstration of that, sir. He's trying to play you for a fiddle. And yeah, the other nations of the world have gotten over on the United States. I guess the United States allowed that in some cases for soft power, in other cases just for whatever reason. Yeah, some nations have gotten over on the United States in the deal-making capabilities of the American president. But I'm saying that's what Putin's trying to do on you with Ukraine. And that's the same thing Xi saying right here, bro. You can't believe nothing these dudes saying at all. Both sides should take long-term perspective into account, focusing on the benefits of cooperation rather than falling into a vicious cycle of mutual retaliation, he said, according to the report. Stressing that dialogue is better than confrontation, Xi listed a range of issues where China and the U.S. could work together, including combating illegal immigration and telecom fraud, anti-money laundering efforts, artificial intelligence, and handling infectious diseases. So guys, if you have not already, I ask that you guys will like the video, subscribe to the channel, make sure you guys hit that notification bells, and also guys, if you guys want to donate to the channel, super chat, super stickers, super thanks, they all start at 99 cents. Just hit the button with the $sign in it, and your donations are much appreciated. That being said, guys, we came, we saw, we conquered. You know what I'm saying? About 53 minutes to deliver the content. This is day number 108. That being said, we got 15 more days on tour, probably about the second week of November next month. We will be going to New York City. I'll be uploading We the People number 10 to do the premiere for the We the People vlog. That We the People vlog about 15 more days till it's uploaded. Once that vlog is premiering, we're done with the We the People tour. You know what I'm saying? And we'll move on from there. Moving on from there, at the end of November, Chasing Sunsets and Chasing Peace. You know what I'm saying? That's basically a compilation of like all the beautiful scenery, God. It's been amazing, guys. I'm talking 120 plus days. It's been an adventure. You know what I'm saying? Like I said on Instagram earlier, like I've been outside like the majority of this time, not all of it, but the majority of this time. Right now, guys, it's like 40-something degrees, guys, and I'm right by the lake. And it's gorgeous and it's super cold, guys. And I've been bringing y'all content like this the entire time. You know what I'm saying? My viewers are spoiled. They get upset. The algorithm gets upset with me, bro, whenever I don't have a new state or a new city to bring y'all content as a background. Think about that, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how I've been pushing it, though, the last 120 days. I can't say there was some nights that were trying, that were testing. You know what I'm saying? There was some nights that were, but that's the beautiful thing about it, man. Just think about it, man. I mean, who in the world, because when I finish this tour, you guys are going to see it. It's not going to be We the People, but I got other states that I'm trying to visit, like bucket list stuff. So I never been to Vermont. I never been to New Hampshire. I never been to Rhode Island. I never been to Maine. I never been to Jersey. I never been to Maryland. And those 6 states are all within, I would say, 3 hours max of where I am right now. So even though I'm going to finish the We the People tour, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be no certain situations. I'm going to just pop out in Rhode Island. And I'm going to get to popping. I'm going to pull the cameras out and get to popping. You feel that? I'm going to just pop out in Maine or pop out in Vermont. Look, I'm in Vermont. I already saw some lakes on the map where it's going to be gorgeous. I'm like, look, I'm out in Vermont, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Pop out in New Hampshire, but I'm going to just pop out, man, though. It's not going to be a tour. You know what I'm saying? So that We the People tour, guys, like New York City is going to be a wrap. And I just say those 120-some days, it has been a blessing to me. Being outside. When I mean outside, man, sleeping in my car some of the times. Not some of the times having the money, some of the times not having the money. Just doing whatever I had to do to get those 18 states done, to get those non-vlogs done, to get those 100 live streams done, to get those 75, 80 plus stories done. You know what I'm saying? Those interviews done. You know, those 10, 12,000 plus miles done. You know what I'm saying? Visit those 5 states I never visited. Like while I'm up here in Connecticut, as a result of the We the People tour, to visit 6 more states that I named, that's 11 states that I've never been to. 11. That'll be a total of 26 states that I've been to in this one trip. Listen to me, 26 states. I don't care if I finish it in February. We're not going to be doing We the People no more. But I'm saying, think about it. Who goes to 26 states in less than a year? You try doing that. You try getting up and leaving your house right now, everything you have right now, and go to 26 states almost unplanned for 7 months. You're going to spend $80,000, $40,000. So I'm saying, think about the story of me being able to say, hey, like I'm out here doing live streams, recording content, fighting cases, filing cases, bringing cases to an end. That's everything that I want to do in my life, man. I'm doing it. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Like, look, in America, man, it's like, okay, I want to litigate cases and I want to, like, tell the story to people, politics and law, to attempt to help people. So it's like, what, you gonna wait till you get, like the average person want a Joe Rogan studio and you want a Joe Rogan audience and you had done zero work for that. That man hustled for that. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying you got to do the work, man. My work ain't necessarily in the legal, like I don't have, Legal Wars Live is not a business. Ameliorate Legal LLC is the business. So I'm saying with that business, I'm actually doing work and getting things done, closing out cases. You know what I'm saying? Bringing in revenue, not as much as I want, not as much as I need, but I'm still doing it. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to do that, and at the same time, that lead me to be able to do this trip, bro. This is gonna be a trip. I never again in my life do something like this. I don't care. I don't think I'll do it if I'm a multi-millionaire. If I'm a multi-millionaire, I go to Bali. And you come back because you got to get back to however you get that millions. You see what I'm saying? LeBron got to get back to the money. He could go for a week or two, maybe even a month, and live like I could only dream of. He could spend $5 million in that month. But I'm saying he gonna have to get back to the money. So 7 months, man, like 8 months, 9 months, like the majority of the year, man, going to half of the states in America, in the United States, over half of the states, and 11 of them are brand new states for me at 45 years old, man. That's why I say it's a blessing, man. How is that not a blessing? That's everything that I wanted to do. It's just not the way that I wanted to do it, of course. It's not the way that most people would do it. But, I mean, that's the situation it turned out in, and it works. It worked. In a lot of ways, it worked. So, I mean, that being said, man, like, I still got those cases popping. You know what I'm saying? I just wait on the documents. When the documents come, bro, I promise you, I get to popping. That's what I do. Just like if I'm finna record some content, when I go to, bro, when I pull up in New York, I'm not even gonna be in New York City, and the camera's gonna be on. So when I pull up in the city, bro, I'ma just get the popping. You know what I'm saying? Don't take no time, edit it, try to get it. I'm saying I'm not, bro. You gotta think about it. I'm a lawyer, pretty much an attorney, a paralegal. So being a paralegal, I'm not a video editor, I'm not a videographer. So God's country, you know what I'm saying, it don't have as many likes as it should. I'm not promoting it right, you know what I'm saying, but I just get the content out as good as I can, man, and just keep on pushing. But that being said, man, like, yeah, man, about the middle of November, that's gonna end the We the People tour, man. So I'll probably just be after Chasing Sunsets and Chasing Peace that week. You know what I'm saying? Going into December, I'll probably only be going live like 2 times a week, maybe 3 times, and they're gonna be indoor live streams. You know what I'm saying? In December. And then, you know, after that, I'm not sure what we're going to do come 2026 if it's the Lord's will. But I know 2026 for me, man, it's going to be a payday. Payday in 2026. And I knew this the whole time. So going through the struggle, man, I got a case. One of the best litigators in the entire Southeast. I said litigators, not an attorney, a litigator. He'd be in the courtroom litigate in the entire Southeast. He has a case, so I don't have to do no work. I'm waiting on the payment just like the client is. So I got a case with an attorney that's solid for 40 racks, 40,000. And I got my own cases as well. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, if it's the Lord's will next year, man, you know what I'm saying? I plan to be blessed. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I did get hooked up this year. You know, if you factor in what I got from the U.S. Treasury, I did get hooked up. I waited a long time for that. So that's why somebody, they waiting to hear me say something. Oh, he making this much money, he not reporting it. You could try whatever game you want to try. But I'm saying, you try that on me, it's going to backfire. And I'm going to shoot a snot out of you for trying. You going to reveal your hand. You just a sideline hater. Because I'm saying, like, I know every figure and every calculation. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I did get a check from the U.S. Treasury. Yeah, but I waited 18 months for it. So count the 18 months that I wasn't getting that money. Yeah, just stretch that money back 18 months. Yeah, it's 20 racks, but split 20 racks up over 18 months, partner. How much is that? Because you got to count that income per month, because that's how they pay that income per month. It's just I get my money in lump sum, so I got that money all at one time. But you got, bro, they be trying to get me, though. They be trying, but ghosts, like, I think I'm 5 steps ahead of them in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Even the stuff they try, I usually be thinking past them. That being said, Legal Wars, man, it's been an hour and 5 minutes, man. I'm going to bump out the way, man. Today, the last day of the month, man. If you guys want to donate to the channel membership start at $3.99, guys. You could get a channel membership, you know what I'm saying? Support the channel, you know what I'm saying? And just check out the content, all the members only content. And if you don't like it for the next month, you don't have to keep the membership. So, guys, I'm going to bump out the way, guys. I appreciate y'all love, support, y'all tuning in. If you want to donate, here's your chance. Hit the button with the $sign in it. I'm going to jump down there in the comments when I get back. I'm going to see if you guys want to talk about anything. And if not, I'm going to get on out of here. So we still out here, baby. You know what I'm saying? Connecticut, New England, going to be out here till at least, you know what I'm saying, January the 2nd. I would say into 2026. You know what I'm saying? That being said, man, I appreciate y'all showing up, man. If y'all want to donate, the button with the $sign. Man, guys, it's so gorgeous down there. You know what I'm saying? Like, when the scene's so gorgeous like that and it's so popping, man, I still get excited for it. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I still get excited for that gorgeous scenery, but it's just that I've been in Connecticut now, man. Like, on the 6th will be 30 days I've been in Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? So I think I stayed in Michigan for 35 days. So, you know, it being the 30th, you know, I've been in Connecticut as long as I've been almost in any other state besides Michigan. You know, I was in New York for like 3 weeks, you know, but I knew I was going to go back to New York. If I would have stayed upstate New York, it's probably about, so I was in Ithaca, and Ithaca is about 3.5 hours from New York City, and New York City was the goal from the get-go. Angelo, what's up? He said, my boy Angelo said, when I'm gonna come to Jersey, man. Angelo, man, y'all gotta bless your boy Big Ghost, man. You feel me? Angelo, get a channel membership right now and I'll come to Jersey. That's on everything I love. You hear me, Angelo? Get a channel membership right now and I'll come to Jersey. Whenever you want me to come. And I'll come stream where you want me to come stream. You know what I'm saying? I'll come stream in Jersey. I'll put Jersey on the tour. You know what I'm saying? On everything, man. It ain't nothing for me really to pop up in a city or in a state But Angelo, if you ask when I'm gonna come to New Jersey specifically for New Jersey, I didn't have plans on doing Jersey in this tour. You know what I'm saying? But I knew I was gonna go to Jersey. It's no way possible. You got to think, Angelo. These are a lot of places that I have. Most of these places I'm coming to, Angelo, I've never been. So I've never been to the state of New York. I've never been to Pennsylvania. I've never been to Ohio. I've never been to Massachusetts. I've never been to Connecticut. I've told y'all the story how I told family members that I was going to go to Massachusetts or Connecticut to live, and they laughed at me. I told another guy who I'm really close with, you know what I'm saying, I was going to spend a Christmas in New York City, and he laughed at me, man. Or New Year's, you see what I'm saying? And this is stuff I'm doing. I've never done this before. So, Angelo, if you tell me New Jersey, if you tell me Vermont, if you tell me New Hampshire, Maine, or Maryland, or those are the only states, 6 states I haven't been to so far on this side of the country. You know what I'm saying? So, man, yeah, I'm definitely going to do that, man. That'll put me at 25 states for the year, man. Like, that's what, for me, it's an adventure. Because you could say, look, okay, when I was in Texas the first 3 months of the year, Angelo, you remember this. We in Wyndham hotels. We in hotels. You know this. Spend 7 racks. That's 7 racks. I get it back. I'm getting it back. I got it back. You see what I'm saying? But those memories that I made in Austin and San Marcos, and the memories I made in Galveston County, I can't. That's priceless. That's gonna last forever. So what I'm trying to tell you, bro, like think about it, Angelo. When I go to tell people on one trip, you know what I'm saying? I started the year in Texas, blazed through Louisiana, went through Mississippi. You see what I'm saying? From Mississippi, I went to Alabama, then I went through Georgia and South Carolina, and then Tennessee, and then I went to North Carolina. I came back to Tennessee and back to Mississippi, and then I left again. So I'm passing through these states again, and then this time stationary in Tennessee, I hit a new state, Kentucky, but I've been to Kentucky before, that's why I don't count it. From Kentucky, bro, I keep pushing north. And I'm pushed north into, Illinois. Okay? So from Illinois, I've been to Illinois before, but I've never been to Chicago. That was the first. First time I did something on the trip. Chicago. Okay? But I didn't stop. I went to Indiana. I've been to Indiana before. Been to spots that I've never been, but I've been to Indiana. Okay? Once I got past Indiana and Michigan, I've been to Michigan before, but I've never been to Kalamazoo, and I stayed there for 34 days. I've never been to Detroit. And then once I got past Detroit, everything was brand new. I was in Detroit looking across, just like I showed y'all across that lake, I was looking at Canada. That content on YouTube and on Instagram, the links in the bio. Angelo, I'm looking at Canada. You see what I'm saying? I ain't never done none of this before. Then I pushed into Ohio, Lake Erie, never been, Lake Michigan, never been, Cleveland, never been, Erie, Pennsylvania, never been, none of that in New York, never been, New York City, none of this, over never been. So this is a first for me, man. Y'all got to think about that. You know what I'm saying? So if you thinking about who in like out of all my homeboys and my partners that I know, Angelo, I got a homeboy from Jersey. Out of all my homeboys and my partners that I know, I don't think nobody ain't never did nothing like that. 26 states, man, within a 12-month period of time, or less than a 12-month period of time. And I'm saying you staying out there. That's an adventure of a lifetime, man. Yeah, there's moments where it's difficult and there's moments where it's hard, but I'm saying, man, that's everything I want to do. And at the same time, I'm closing out cases. So I'm going to close out cases. I'm going to get paid. At the same time, I got a $40,000. In 2026, I know I'm going to get paid. Y'all remember when I got paid in 25, I'm going to get paid more. I'm going to get indemnified for this situation that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? If something happened and then it's nothing of my fault, man, like I always say, I'm a disabled veteran. 90% of the situations I get into are not my fault because I'm not breaking no laws. I'm not doing no crimes. I'm a legal person. Why would I be committing a crime? That's crazy. They looking to prove that I'm a fraud. I've been under 1 million investigations by 1 million different agencies across America. And that's facts. So I'm not going to do nothing. That's stupid. I'm not into losing. I'm into winning. I did all the crimes in my 20s. I'm past the crime days. I'm past the club days. That's why I be out here. But you know what I'm saying? Y'all just ain't going to be seeing when I be chilling. I'm not going to be always recording, going live. You know what I'm saying? We going to get back to inside live streams in November. Angelo said it's a lot of traveling. Yeah, man, Liberty Park, it's a nice scenery, man. Angelo, he said when I was in Texas, that was like when we first started. Yeah, Angelo. But look, Angelo, I promise you, bro, I'll come to Liberty. I'll come to Jersey and do a stream, bro. Like, all I need y'all to do is get a channel membership. One channel membership right now, bro. That's guaranteed. Big Ghost in Jersey. Rochester, you hear me? One channel membership from one of y'all guys right now. Guarantee y'all Big Ghost coming to Jersey. Y'all name a state, man. Pick a state. Preferably in the New England area, because that's where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? But y'all pick a state. Y'all throw the channel membership, man. I'm trying to promote them. I need them channel memberships, man. You know what I'm saying? I really want to grow the channel, man. I'm trying to grow the channel from ground up, man. It's hustling. You know? Man, it's going to come a time when, of course, it's going to make better sense for me to take a sponsorship or a deal from a studio, you know, and I mean, not from a studio, but to acquire a studio or to get a studio. But what I'm saying is I just hope that I'm able to always not be affected by the thoughts of someone else, man. My mentality manipulated. You know what I'm saying? Because I try to tell y'all the truth, Angelo, the God honest truth, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, people in areas to where I'm in Connecticut, Angelo, you in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? But Angelo, you probably around a lot of Trump supporters. I'm saying, like, I know it's Trump supporters up here. In every state it is. But I'm saying, like, I don't know these people. And I know everything up here is blue, but I just come up here and speak the truth, man. Anywhere I go, man, that's what I'm going to do. And to be able to just speak the truth. Against all odds, man, just come out and speaking the truth. You talking politics, I give them truth. I talk in life, we in the courtroom. These lawyers be trying to challenge me. They be looking for me to trip up, make a mistake, lie, keep them talking. It'll never happen. Because I'm grounded in truth. Once that truth is established, and once I recognize it and the perception of whatever, that perception of that truth, Angelo, I'm going to have that perception of that truth. The perception that trickle-down economics does not work. Like that's a foundation that I have in a political economic argument. When Bernie Sanders says tax the rich, even if you want to use tariffs, I think you should have a corporate tax too. That's what I believe in. So you can't put me in no political party. If I was a Republican, I'd be yelling tax the rich. I swear. I would be saying tax the rich. If I was a Democrat, I would say, if I was around independents, you get that? So if I'm around, tariffs aren't popular with Republicans either, Angelo. But if I was around Republicans, I'm going to say, I support tariffs for America in our situation right now. If I'm around Democrats, I'm going to say, I'll support. It's not popular. It's not always popular with people, man, but I just try to speak the truth. And to be able to speak the truth, man, without being challenged, man, or being able to speak the truth without people stopping you or coming against you, man. Like, I think that's just like the most awesome thing there is. You know what I'm saying? Tam Lee says, I was once a Democrat by fault. No, I disagree with that. I believe that I have always, like, since I was 5 years old, I was raised in a church. And this is a church that really teaches that in a real God, they believe that God is real. Like, not hypothetically God. They believe in a real God. So, like, they're very conservative. So I had a lot of conservative morals, issues, and values. Like, when I was a child, we had men that would dress up as women, but that transgender thing, for real, we didn't really know too much about that transgender thing. But there was homosexuals, and I witnessed in certain conservative circles, extreme conservative circles, their beliefs were overboard to where they would kill homosexuals. Like, I was able to learn how I wasn't never a Democrat, but even being brought up in church, when I saw the conservatives killing the homosexuals, I knew in church God said that murder was wrong, so I knew that was wrong. So even though they were conservatives and I brought up conservatives, it's just that I'm not a Democrat. I understand the pain that, like, ACLU, like, I'm a legal person. It's just being able to have a balance, empathy, and compassion that a lot of people, they don't have that. Because I'm 1,000% conservative, 1,000, yeah. I'm raised in church, yeah. So they saying gay is wrong. At one point, you could ask my mama, I used to hate gay people with a passion. Ask my mama, hated them. But then they started killing them. And I'm like, hold up, you know that stuff not right. You could just tell in your heart. I saw with Jesus, when he was in that situation, I saw how Jesus responded. I saw how he responded to love one another. That's what he said. So I knew whenever I saw the over conservative people start killing gay people, I knew that was wrong. So that made me, like, be more acceptive of gay people. It's not that I was a Democrat. It's just that me being raised around that conservative, sometimes seeing that stuff go overboard, it pushed me to the left. That's what it did to me. I think that's what it do to most everybody, all of America. But regardless of that trickle down economics, I never could get with that, because I think that's the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. And I've explained that to y'all 1,000,000,000,000 times why. I could never get down with trickle down economics. And I'm saying, just like I just gave y'all that spiel about the conservative stuff, and just like I give y'all about trickle down economics, I'm saying, like, it don't matter. If I was in the Republican Party, like I said, I'd be yelling tax the rich. They'd be trying to beat me up, bro. If I was a Republican, I would have President Trump yelling tax the rich. All of America, man. Like, we would be united, bro. If I don't matter what I was, because that's what I believe in. I believe in taxing the rich, man. Like, I think Elon should pay more money in taxes. What's up, Elon? Big Elon. I think Elon should pay more money in taxes, real talk. I think he can afford it. I think Jeff Bezos should pay more. I think if you make $800,000 or more per year, you should pay a corporate sales tax, or a corporate tax, not a sales tax, or overall corporate tax. If you make over $800,000 or more per year, I think you should pay a tax. You know what I'm saying? And I think that tax should be at least, like, you know what I'm saying? I would say 1% maybe of your, like, not the gross, like, yeah, your gross, not your net. Probably about 1%, 1.5%. You could raise trillions. There we go. My boy Angelo, he says the government shutdown is all on the Democrats' party's hands. They are willing to let U.S. citizens go hungry just to prove a point. Shaking my head. Angelo, what kind of, like, I want you to stay with me, Angelo. Thank you for that donation. Everyone, please like the donation. Angelo, please stay with me. Please stay with me. What type of health insurance do you have? I want to know this, Angelo. We're going to have this conversation. Real talk. And this content is, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be great content. What type of health insurance you have right now? Angelo, while you could shut me up by responding, because while you're responding, I seen a testimonial of a woman. She lived out west in the Mountain West states. She voted for President Trump. She got a family of 5. She paying $459 for her health insurance without the subsidies the subsidies being increased. So even if you extend the subsidies, her insurance is still going to go up to about $700. So she paying $200 more, and with her insurance, even if without the subsidies being increased, her insurance going to go up to $2,000, y'all. Instead of going up $250, it's going to go up about $2,000. None of her family will have health insurance no more. She voted for Trump. Christian woman. She live out in the Mountain West. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to think that health insurance thing, that's a real issue, Angelo. That's not made up. You feel what I'm saying, Angelo? That is a real issue. That is not made up at all. That healthcare issue is huge. He said, thinking it's so easy to blame the Democrats, especially when you do a little right winger. Nah, Jerry, I'm not. I'm kind of with you. I'm not really blaming the Democrats. I mean, I'm not blaming the Republicans, but I could understand where the Democrats is coming from. He says, why not while they fund the resolution? Because that's backwards, though. Angelo, that's backwards. You know why, Angelo, you don't? Because that's backwards. Because the American government is set up before you first passed the tax bill back in March. Go back and look at the channel. I was making videos back in March and May, Angelo, how President Trump need to call Hakeem. You're going to have to call Hakeem, Angelo. That's all it is to it. You were supposed to negotiate with the Democrats. You come up with some funding bill where the Democrats were not involved. Well, doing that, you have a health care thing that's going to make health premiums skyrocket. That issue alone. I'm saying you have to negotiate with you should have negotiated with them in the first place. There's no way, Angelo, I don't care if it's Democrats or Republicans, that you have a piece of legislation that's that big and you do not negotiate with the other side. You should have known that was coming. You get rid of the filibuster. When the Democrats come through, America's going to be socialist. And when America become a socialist nation, then President Trump, you look in the mirror if you even still here and blame yourself. Because you get rid of the filibuster and try to jam down your stuff, I promise you're going to regret it. Because it's not meant to do that. If you do that and the American people are further upset, you know it's going to be Democrats in control of everything. They don't care how you redistrict something. And when they get in control, America's going to turn into a socialist nation, and you did it yourself. That's not how you govern. You govern by going to the other side and debate the other side. Angelo, in my opinion, if I was Hakeem, I would say, bruh, because I remember myself, I made videos with Hakeem's voice. Y'all want me to play it right now? I'll go get it and play it right now. I got the computer up. Hakeem's voice, he's saying that he wanted President Trump. Any Republicans, come talk to me. This is before they passed the bill. He said we could start with lowering the cost of goods. We could have bipartisan legislation on lowering the cost of goods. That's where we could start. But he said that they never came talk to him. And Angelo, they just put together that health care bill and they shoved it through. Well, America, the system set up for this, you to get to this impasse because you are not legislating bipartisan. Look, so he says that he'll hold a vote. I don't know. Hakeem and them don't believe him. Angelo, they don't trust him. Senator Schumer probably don't believe him, don't trust him. But I think that they possibly will hold a vote. Even if they open the government, because the people are still going to be mad because the healthcare premiums are going to be high. Until they they have to pass something at least for a year to figure something out. So I think they will hold a vote. if the Democrats open the government, they will hold a vote. But that's not the point. It's to me, that should have been held before. You should have been holding the vote when you was doing the bill. You go pass the bill, and then now you're talking about holding the vote, Angelo, after the bill, after they got up and started protesting, now you want to hold the vote. Man, thank you for that donation, Miss Monique. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Why you want to see that, Angelo? You want to hold the vote now after you done passed the bill. Why you didn't hold a vote before you passed the bill? So now Hakeem and them, they at a point where they just inflamed. What you got to do if you want to be great, Angelo, if you want to be big President T, rock star, you know how, if you go back on President Trump's and the White House webpage, I think it's October 18th, right after that Israeli peace deal. I just did a stream about this the other day, where he got 1 million people, 10 pages of people all over the world, his enemies, his critics, everything praising him because he came to a solution that the Democrats want as well. There's a lot of things that both Republicans and Democrats want, guys. It's just that there's different ways to get to that solution. Well, peace in the Middle East is something that both parties wanted. President Trump achieved it. So voila, he gets the praise. This is one of those things, Angelo, the way that you get to become a rock star. If President Trump go to Israel, they crying and falling out like he the Messiah. If he go to the Saudi Arabia, they doing the same thing. He got love on both sides. Not so much with Xi and with Putin, but I'm saying you see out there down there in the Philippines and Japan's amongst friendlies, they loving President Trump overseas. So his foreign policy must be rocking, bringing in trillions of foreign dollars into the U.S. economy. But what I'm saying, if he want his domestic policy to be rocking, because regardless of how many trillions of soybeans that you done sold, I'm saying the problem that you have here in America is your government is shut down, and you got to go talk to the Democrats. That's just a point blank period, though. I'm trying to figure that out. Since you brought that up, my boy Angelo, you gotta go talk to the Democrats. Listen, I'm gonna do a stream about this tomorrow, y'all. I didn't want to get into this, but this to me is the biggest topic. President Trump, if you pick up the phone and you call Hakeem and you get a solution, your stock market through the roof. President Trump, if you pick up the phone, if you call Hakeem and you get a solution, the political violence is going to tamp down, whether or not you believe it or think of that or not. President Trump, if you pick up the phone and you call Hakeem and you get a solution to this deal, it's going to help you in so many ways. Then, President Trump, if today is October the 31st, trick or treat, Hakeem, this ain't no trick, this ain't no treat. I'm on the phone. I'm trying to get this done, Hakeem. What we got to do to get this done? Let's stop playing games, Hakeem. I'm ready to sign something, Hakeem. Let's get this done. I still don't like y'all Democrats. I'm still going to get on your head after we finish doing this deal, but I got a Bill Clinton moment coming out through me right now. I got a Ronald Reagan moment coming out through me right now. Let's get this done, Hakeem. I'm saying if you do that on October 31st, on October the 1st, he gonna be posting on the White House website, oh, that President Trump, the Democrats gonna be praising you. Everybody gonna be praising you, numbnuts. Excuse my language. That's how you get to greatness. That's how you get great, Angelo. Oh, man, Angelo said if Kamala run. So, look, Angelo, he keep on the conversation. Angelo, how about this? What about so you think Kamala, you think if Kamala get that nomination, Angelo, you think that J.D. Vance would be the Republican nominee? I don't know if he will. What about Don Jr.? Don Jr. don't have the baggage his daddy does. He has the Trump name though, and he got a nice laugh. He got a nice smile. What about Don Jr.? He be cracking jokes and laughing and smiling all the time, man. He got a positive energy about him. He know about how to run winning campaigns too. I'm sure he have Jared, the whole team in his corner, Bannon and all them. It'd be like carrying the Trump trophy with Don Jr. So Don Jr., what about Marco Rubio? What about Nikki Haley, boy? Hey, Nikki Haley, my favorite, y'all. I'm a Nikki Haley supporter as a Republican. So if Nikki Haley runs for president, y'all, I'm telling y'all right now, all y'all fellow Republicans, Marco, I got mad love for you. JD, I got mad love for you. Don Jr., I got mad love for you. But if none of y'all are giving me any money and I'm just here regular and I'm not getting paid by no Democrats and I'm just giving my opinion as a Republican candidate, my personal opinion, my favorite, I would like to have Nikki Haley run. Now, in the Democrats, it's just going to be too hard. I got mad love for AOC. What if AOC decide to run? I don't know if she going to step up like she might do Senate, but that's my baby. Kamala Harris, come on, man, don't play with me. You know that's my baby. And then you got Gavin Newsom. What about Big Governor G? Y'all, hey, Big Governor G come through swerving, bruh. Y'all don't know nothing about Big Governor G. The Democrats might not swing that far to the left. They might want to have Governor Josh Shapiro. Governor, y'all don't know Governor Newsom like I know Governor Newsom. Governor Newsom is the coolest of the governors. Governor Newsom, the type that'll kick you with you, Angelo. You would chill with him. You would kick it with him. He kicks it with Baskey. He cool him and Steph like they on first name basis. He a cool dude. So I'm saying Governor Shapiro, he cool like that. These white boys, they cool in the hood. They cool. They got hood passes. Y'all don't understand that, boy. To understand, bro, you listen to what I'm trying to tell you, boy. That boy Gavin Newsom could go in almost any hood in Cali, boy. Bro, you gotta understand that. That boy, he's certified. Gavin Newsom certified with black people. I didn't know it was like that. I started saying, wow, what? That boy's certified. What he got going on with Joe Rogan, I mean, But with black people, Governor Newsom is certified. He a champion. Yeah, he get a hood pass and everything, Governor Newsom do. And I heard about Pennsylvania, Governor Shapiro over there, he good with black people. The Democrats got some stars now. It depends if they want to go the woman route, because what I'm saying is, even if on the Democratic side, if you don't go establishment route, then you're going to go the biggest star, progressive star is AOC. I don't care what Mandami does. Y'all ain't going to be turning y'all head and looking over these women, bruh, because we don't want no woman president. Go stat for stat, tat for tat, bruh. AOC, bruh. At her age, bruh, that girl put in work. Look at her body of work. AOC been fighting for the people for a minute. So I got mad love for my, you know what I'm saying? And then like VP Harris, y'all clowning on VP Harris. VP Harris done made some million. Hey, she laughing. Y'all laughing at VP Harris. She laughing to the bank. When I see VP Harris, all I see is a dollar sign. Let me get my hands on Kamala. She raised more money. Listen to me, 107 days. President Trump had a year, 2 years to raise money. She had 3 months. She raised more money than any other candidate in history in a third of the time. You see what I'm saying? And then she come out and say, hey, no, I'm not running for governor in California, even though I could win easily. I'm up by I got 60% of the vote. So I'm still super popular in California. I'm not running for governor in California. Instead, I'm gonna drop this book and I'm gonna make millions, mad successful. I'm talking about fans flocking at her shows on her book tours, fans flocking. So she's still on rock star status. And you got Gavin Newsom and AOC. So I'm saying, you just saying J.D. Vance because he was vice president. You saw with VP Harris, that really don't To me, I got mad love for JD, bro, and I think he a bright young. But they were talking about Steve Bannon talking about JD winning the presidency and giving it back to President Trump. What? I'm saying, so I don't know how much the MAGA, you know what I'm saying, think tank or the MAGA minds, they see JD as being a viable candidate to actually lead MAGA forward. They talking about JD becoming president just to hand the trophy back over to President Trump while he like 90 years old. That's crazy. You got Don Jr. If you want to keep that Trump legacy and that MAGA, you still got that Trump planes. You still got the Trump name. You still got Trump everything. Just put Don there. Don cool as a fan, bro. He good looking, nice young dude. He laugh, he joke. He used to kick it with the people, bro. Don kick it with Diddy. Don, not saying putting Don out there like Diddy, like y'all thinking Diddy lame. Diddy ain't no lame dude, bro. Like y'all just haters. You know what I'm saying? Kick it with 50 Cent, man. Kick it with the culture, man. Don come through and kick it, bro, just like his daddy did with Don King and them. You know what I'm saying? He come hang with the culture. He younger, man. He get down with the brown. Like, you got to. If y'all come get down with us, bro, you going to be straight. You know what I'm saying? BP here, except he ain't can't get. But BP, was she straight with us, bro. You know what I'm saying? We get these people cards, they respect cards. They come through anywhere where we at. We got respect for them. Hey, the new someone, I go back down south. I don't care what they hating on you. Anywhere I'm at, I promise you could come through. I promise you. Big Ghost, all he got to do is fund and share. And when I tell them boys what I'm finna tell them, and I show them what I'm finna tell them, they'll give you a pass. I promise. I know that organization, they'll protect every block that you ride down. Just like the Secret Service, but they street dudes. They protecting every block. He'll get a pass, man. That dude cool. You come get down with us, we gonna give you mad love. We protect you and everything. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of Democrat, bro. You know what I'm saying? He said Diddy drug kids. Well, then why you didn't prove it in a court case, bro? Why you President Trump gonna look? Even if Diddy got convicted, President Trump was gonna give Diddy a pardon, bro. You think Dirk getting a pardon? Y'all didn't know that? Little Dirk is getting a pardon, boy. Yeah, we getting Dirk out of jail, bro. Y'all go sit down with that little lame ratchet stuff. You said Diddy drug kids. Diddy ain't drug no kids, boy. Go sit down, boy. Look, they were just scared to speak up for Diddy, but Ghost told y'all, ask Angelo. Go back and check guilty or innocent. I told you Diddy wasn't going. Y'all he trying to charge Diddy with charges like Diddy was some kind of drug, like he was John Gotti. Diddy ain't no Jeffrey Epstein, boy. Don't play with me. Diddy ain't no Jeffrey Epstein. Cassie was of legal age. Those girls of legal age, bruh. He just, all them Hollywood people drug girls. Them girls taking drugs themselves half the time. What you talking about? What Diddy did that ain't no different than your favorite Hollywood movie star, bruh? Straight up. Like don't try to make that boy be a criminal because he a scumbag. They all scumbags. They your heroes, though. They all scumbags. They your heroes. Your favorite rapper your favorite country singer running trains on girls, bro. You just don't. You don't think because you lame-minded. Some of y'all preachers probably do that stuff. Look what happened with what church was that? Hillsong United. So some of y'all famous raps running trains. They all do that stuff. Diddy ain't no different. I'm saying don't try to take him. You gonna pick out one dude and try to frame him like he's some kind of, like he Jeffrey Epstein. No, he not. He wasn't drugging no kids. Get out of here, bro. He just went in front of the judge. The federal government presented evidence to try to get that man locked up. Cassie up there saying she missed him. This dude is the dude on Taken. He Liam Nelson. Diddy got charged with some Liam Nelson charges. Like he's snatching girls. And he's selling girls into slavery. He's selling who into slavery? These little Pop Tarts. And I hate he did what he did with Cassie, but he gave her like 10, 20 million too, and she said she missing. Shoot, he get back out of jail, she break up with her. Her husband better watch it. When Diddy get out of jail, your husband better be watching them phones. I'm trying to tell you. Because he'll slide back through. I'm trying to know how this is real life. And that girl got real emotions for that dude, and she know he worth a lot of money, and she still got feelings for that dude. And he got feelings for her. I don't care what y'all trying to say. I'm trying to tell you what's real. Trying to make Diddy like he John Gotti. He ain't no John Gotti. He just a sexual deviant. Just like a lot of them in Hollywood is. Just like some regular people is. He ain't John Gotti, though. King Fire, how are you idolizing him? We talking about the law. We talking about them using the law against somebody to penalize somebody for doing something everybody else doing. You don't understand that's an injustice. That Diddy represents certain things for the black community and the black culture. I'm not idolizing Diddy. I was one of the only ones that said it from day one because I don't care. I know the law. I told him like how he should defend himself. The content on YouTube, guilty or innocent, I forgot which episode it was. Did he do it? He did it. If they would have charged him with state charges like they charged Bill Cosby and like they charged R. Kelly, then Diddy would be in jail for 19, 20 years. But they didn't. They tried to go get the federal government and be pretty and charge him like he John Gotti because he having sex parties. He not John Gotti. Yeah, what he doing is wrong. Is it immoral? Can you argue that he did rape Cassie one time out of her mouth? That's what she said. That's what charges I would have went at him with, some state charges. But you trying to be pretty and go and get Homeland Security with some army stuff, got his kids pent up, kicking in his door, talking about 1,000 things of Vaseline and jelly and oil, bro. I'm saying that's like TikTok stuff. That's not real law stuff. Talking about Bad Boy, a criminal organization. So Bad Boy is an organization like who? Like the mafia? Bad Boy is the mob. And Puffy is a crime boss. Rico. That's a joke, man. That's like kindergarten stuff. You can't do legal. I don't do legal. Y'all don't know because you don't know the law. I'm hearing pundits coming on all these major networks speaking in favor of CNN, and I'm just saying y'all all idiots. All y'all pundits, when y'all talking, y'all wrong. I hear y'all. Because when you talk the first time I'm listening to you talk, and I'm saying this dude is a straight idiot. Homeland Security ain't got no RICO case. The girl said that he raped me. That's a state charge. That's the hardest charge I could get. So I'm a refer that to the state of New York and let the state of New York come through there and charge him with those words. He still would have had a fight against that charge too. But I'm saying that's a more substantial charge. That's how they got R. Kelly. That's how they got. But I'm saying through the state charges, he just had to fight that. But you coming through with some RICO stuff on this man trying to destroy this whole man character like he's some kind of John Gotti. He ain't that. And Big Ghost gonna speak up on that. And that's as a born again Christian. If you talk about the stuff that P. Diddy did being immoral, that's a whole different conversation. We're not talking about his morality. We're talking about the law. Just like Donald Trump, we're not talking about his morality, right? We're talking about politics. Because if we bring up Donald Trump's morality, I know you ain't going to talk no smack about Diddy and then support President Trump. How is that possible? See, that's how y'all have hypocrisy in what y'all do. You let me keep talking, you gonna get truth. There ain't no hypocrisy in my words. The biggest check I got in my life, yeah, I did. It was 18 months of the government holding money that they owe me. It ain't no hypocrisy in nothing I say. I could talk, you ain't gonna get nothing but truth. Because I think about my position and I take a stand on that. What somebody's saying ain't swaying me. The stuff that I hadn't thought about yet, that I'm getting in the middle, hold on, I hadn't really thought about that. I don't know. I'll just be like, I don't know. But once I think about it and I've seen it and have the experience, that's why it seemed like I got wisdom. I take a stand on that trickle down economics. I'm good on that. I don't care what party you put me in. I don't care where you send me. You can send me with a preacher, with a rabbi, with a judge, with a deacon, with President Trump or President Obama. I'm going to stand firm on trickle-down economics. It's not going to change. And most people ain't like that. And I'm going to do that the same thing. If I was with President I'm cool with you. But you got to explain to me why you think it's okay to tell me that a 5-year-old child, a parent will let a 5-year-old child change their sex. You got to tell me, President T, why you say that's okay. Because that is not okay, President Obama. But I'll be cool with him, hanging with him, everything shooting the breeze with him, but I'm solid in my positions. I'm staying 10 on what I believe, boy. The truth. I speak and walk and talk the truth. He said, Red G said Trump and Diddy buddies. I'm saying, man, them doing that to Diddy, in my opinion, that did that to the culture, man. Look, Diddy ain't the best person in the world, but who your favorite movie star in Hollywood? They could be worse than him. Look at all the famous people on the Epstein list that you wouldn't even think that they would do some stuff like that. Look what's happening to Prince Andrew in Britain. I can't even call him a prince no more. King said he ain't even a prince no more. Just call that boy Andrew. He got kicked out the royal house. He living out in the side. They knowing what happened with Jeffrey Epstein with him. They know what happened with Jeffrey Epstein too happened. That dude a child molester. Prince Andrew. He was a child molester. The Brits kicked that boy out the royal house. You ain't even a prince no more. Your name Andrew. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying but you just gotta understand that, man. But I ain't nobody hating on. They ain't hating on President Trump. Maybe they should be more worried about morality. But I'm saying they worried about politics. So I'm saying you can't come through and you can't with Diddy now. All of a sudden with Diddy, you worried about morality, but you not with President Trump. Diddy ain't no more foul than in your favorite. Liam Nelson hired prostitutes, bro. He probably do drugs too. It's just not on TV. He know how to control his stuff. Look at the NBA players that's gambling. You know how many crimes and bad stuff, every situation you see where they out there doing something that do not pertain to God, you should expect the devil to be present. So the devil being present, Diddy having sex with 1,000 people a day, that don't deserve no jail. You got to lock everybody else who do that up in jail. You can't just turn it to some Iraqi society or something, some Christian cult society. No, you got to follow the law. Stop being stupid. That's my motto. If you want him to go to jail because like y'all did R. Kelly, it seemed like all the ones they want to put in jail for sexual misconduct is child molesters. They don't let them go if they catch them and they black. But I'm saying they did it to Bill Cosby. He was how old? And he went to jail. You could have did the same thing with Diddy. But you want to get him on federal charges and try to make this dude like he John Gotti, like he running a criminal organization that's killing people. You know, the charges they charged him with, like the Liam Nelson people, that means he running and snatching girls. He holding a 14-year-old girl, raping her every day. He got girls taking care of her, grooming her up, getting her on drugs, and he teaching her by sleeping with your 14-year-old girl violently 3, 4, 5 times a day until he get her ready to have sex with 10 men a day on a good night so he can make him a 1,500. That's what they accused Diddy of doing, like on Taking Liam Nelson. They taking these girls, and these girls are being tormented on a daily basis. You can't charge Diddy with that. He's not that. Evil, he might be evil, but not that kind of evil. I'm saying the man, he take that. hot and sicker than your average. Papa didn't. I mean, come on, man. That's what I'm saying. President Trump got accused of doing worse than Diddy did. How could he not pardon him? I'm saying what Diddy did, bro. He was just dancing with he dancing too much. He always had that problem. He always Biggie told him, "You dance too much. Stop all that dancing." Instead of dancing too much, put the word in there for sexual activities. He just too much. Is he a Christian? No. Is he immoral? But I'm saying if you judging people like that, you got to do President Trump. You got to do President Obama. And you got to do yourself. If we judging people like that, that's why God said to judge not. Because if you don't judge, you won't get judged. I'm an arguer. I'm a litigator. You come judging me, I'll embarrass you. I'm going to strip you naked with these words in this mouth. Don't do it. Don't judge people. Don't do that. If you don't want to get judged, if me, I judge you. I'll sue the snot out you. And they judge me on a daily basis on stuff that they don't get no money off of. I don't care. You could judge. You feel me? You feel me? I'm just saying, bro, just being real. I follow the law and the rules, and I know what the law say, and a lot of y'all don't. I'm the legal dude. So I broke the law down on the live stream, what the RICO is, and I read what it is, and I read Diddy's charges. And I understood the history of that law was written for mafia, so the feds could catch the mafia during that time in what, the 20s or the 30s. That's what that law is written for John Gotti. That law is written for Al Capone. That law ain't written for no movie star that's just having sex with all the girls and guys or whatever like the other ones are. He just doing what, that's why I said, find me a child that he molested that you would bring out in court. That ain't never came out. And I heard Cassie's testimony, and it just sounded like a bad relationship between a guy and a girl. She got older, and bro, I guarantee you, bro, he come out of jail. They gonna be on that late night. He gonna be creeping. I'm telling you, this is just it's a normal. Y'all think because it's Diddy, and it's just a normal dude and girl. You old as me, you wise as me. You know how this game go. I done seen Diddy and Cassie with I could have called the homeboy and the homegirl's name. And if you go back and look at their life story, it looked just like almost Diddy. I'm talking about the improprieties with people together, not on that magnitude. They weren't that famous or that rich, but I'm saying all of that stuff. And in the end, I'm talking about they got kids married with each other and they still be sneaking and tiptoeing. It's just some people, it's just like that toxic relationship, a forever toxic love. I'm not saying Cassie gonna do that, but I'm saying she did get 10 or 20 million, and she knows she could get 10 or 20 more, really, especially he gonna be feeling bad for her again after he get out. Come here, baby. You know, if they could get away with it with nobody knowing. I'm trying to tell you how these situations be going, my dog. Real talk. That's how they be going. So what can you put past what? All I'm saying, y'all trying to say Diddy is like, he probably is, but he not what they charged him with federally. You said there's no difference morally between Diddy and Trump. That's what I'm saying. But if you saying that, all those kind of people who talking about Diddy, they don't have nothing to say about President Trump. And they voted for President Trump. But they don't have nothing to say about that. All they talking about Diddy, they voted for President Trump. And I'm saying P. Diddy is not running for president. He's not claiming to be leading America in any sort of morality. He's an entertainer. This man promotes liquor. He promotes liquor. What you think he doing? He in the club. He take that. He got 5 different girls. Girls that we know, sex workers with her. I'm talking about she got a baby for him. She got a baby for this family. And she gonna hang with Diddy. What you think he doing? And they taking drugs every day. All of them taking drugs. That ain't nothing. He giving a girl drugs. She probably asking for drugs on some occasion. Oh, he right. But you going to get up with Diddy at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. A lot of that stuff is just, you got to understand what it is. That's the lifestyle they living. My 15-year-old daughter, if you take your butt outside this house and you go to that club, it ain't no telling what God will let happen to you. You understand that? That's not like a girl at the airport, my 15-year-old girl at the airport, and then she just get abducted by some French dude and they put her in a car and now she missing. That's not the same thing. These girls going to hang out at a party, a white party, or go hang out with Diddy. I don't care if they didn't know or thought or nothing, but I'm saying, what you think? I mean, you kind of volunteering yourself for that particular, whatever that is, you volunteering yourself for that. He not just snatching people or random. It's not happening like that. They choosing that. Like with Jeffrey Epstein, like he kind of was snatching randoms. Even though they wanted to go or they went to the party, I'm not blaming the female, but their participation in that. My daughter ain't finna be at no Diddy party, even when she 23, because I'm a raiser better than that. I'm a trainer better than that. And if she do possibly be gravely disappointed, and I wouldn't be like really gravely surprised if something horribly happened to her while she was at a Diddy party. But that's not the same as him going to an airport or him grabbing her from the convenience store. You get that? Makes sense to you? If a female get in your car, if she got in the car with this dude and they said this dude be raping her, but I know they getting in the car with him. Not no just randoms. I'm saying they knowing them and they hanging out with them and they doing them. You think these girls don't know what Diddy was about? Y'all think this the first time all this stuff that we hear, we just now heard about this stuff Diddy been doing. Ain't nobody knew about none of this stuff. It's just now coming out. That man is not what they charged him with. I'm not saying he not a bad person. He not what they charged him with. I said that from the get-go. Yeah, Mr. Good Citizen saying that about you can't hate one and love the other. That's what I'm saying. They say that to me about President Trump. They say it's President Trump or whatever. I had my doubts about it, just like you probably did. So the information that then came out. Some of us might have a little bit more knowledge than other people. Somebody saying, well, he found out he on the Epstein list. Pam Bondi been told him he was on the Epstein list. So I'm saying, like, but if you stop and you got to deal with what today is he's still the president of the United States. What today is that Joe Biden and them was in office for 4 years looking on charges to bring against him. So they had privy to all the information. The Epstein had been dead. All the Epstein files was been up there in the Justice Department. And Joe Biden and them, they seen everything about Trump up there. And they were looking for charges on him. And they didn't bring no charges on no child molesting against Donald Trump. Joe Biden and them didn't bring. They brought a lot of charges, but no child molesting charges. So President Trump is president again. I think personally the chances of something coming out about him is negative. It's not zero or it's not low. It's negative. I don't think it'll never happen. So I'm saying you're going to spend the rest of your time while America in the business of America. You're going to spend the rest of your time while Vladimir Putin is trying to redraw world orders and China is trying to devalue the United States dollar. And then we're slipping into a position to become a third world country from being the greatest the world has ever seen. Because we're spending our time worried about something that we cannot solve. Who has the authority to prove that President Trump is A, B, and C? Whoever has that authority, they not doing it. It's not happening. So I'm saying, what we supposed to do? You gonna stay there and do what? As a regular person, me. And while we doing that, the SNAP benefits are on the verge of being cut while we talking about something that we can't control. While we talking about something that we can't control, we got a shut down government, and we got this woman, poor woman, baby, bless your heart, that I seen. I think she was from Idaho, and she paying $450 for insurance, and there's 5 of them. And then with them extending the subsidies, it'll still go up to 700 or something. But I'm saying without the subsidy, it's gonna go up to $2,100. She go from paying $400 from insurance to $2,100. She says she voted for President Trump, and she and her family ain't gonna have insurance. But we talking about Jeffrey Epstein, a dead child molester from 2018 that we can't do nothing about. Nobody on that list. And we keep pushing them, and they keep kicking the can. I wanted to say something else. Kicking and pushing the can, and you keep pushing them, and the Democrats get in there. They not even gonna talk about it. They ain't gonna kick the can. They just gonna tell you ain't nothing here. Get on about your business. And so Republican, oh, you got President Trump in there. You want to punk him? You know, he kind of cool. He be listening sometimes, and ain't nothing coming out there. And so you gonna waste your time? We can't waste our time. We got to get to the business of America. P. Hicks said he could see drugs coming from out of a house or out of a village in Venezuela on trucks, getting loaded into boats. Certain men getting on the boat, certain men getting off, and the boat's taking off. He said he could see the whole process. That's why he blow that boat. He said the people on that boat, I'm saying that's something we could do to help better the world, right, wrong, or indifferent. Oh man, that's a good tactical maneuver. I got a strategy. What's your strategy? You got a Nobel Peace Prize winner in Venezuela already. Rise them up. Put the people in power, the puppet government, and let's get to the next level. Let's take it to the next level. You change the regime, the whole regime. Was you changing a regime? When you went after Manuel Noriega, did you change a regime, or did that happen decades later? I'm saying when I go to clean up the drugs, the first thing I'm going to do is that leader in that nation is the person who could fight the drugs. The only South American or Central American or North American Hispanic nation that I think can seriously fight the cartels is the Mexicans. And the Mexican police, the locals can't do it, but the Mexican federales, they can put the fear of God in the cartel. So the Mexican government, even though you could say they might be a little corrupt, they could separate from that corruption like America can. All of them going to be corrupt. It's about separating from that corruption. The Mexican government, I don't have no confidence. Venezuela, he is, if he's not selling the drugs himself, they paying them to allow it to happen. You ain't gonna never fight no drug. If you saying the 300,000 deaths come from fentanyl, so I'm saying you got to come up with a strategy. I'm not getting paid to do this, but if y'all want to pay me to do it, I could do it for y'all. Man, y'all, if y'all haven't liked the video, double tap the screen, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, man. We be in here having good conversations, man. You know what I'm saying? He said, stop taking money from Venezuela. Why not? Why? I'm saying, man, if you got I don't matter how many, if he killing 40,000 Americans with the drugs that's coming from Venezuela, you don't have to be killing 300,000. You don't have to be killing 50,000. You don't have to be killing 10,000 if he killing 1,000 with them drugs. And you a president. Imagine if President Trump was killing 1,000 people with drugs. President Trump taking drug money from a cartel to let drugs come into America. What would we say about President Trump? You're going to say off with his head. If the Democrats found some paperwork or some documents to say that President Trump was getting money from a drug cartel to allow drugs to come to America, which is what the Dems going to do. They're going to say off with his head. Well, President Trump's saying the Venezuelan president, he is completely complicit. Do the American government have to spill all the intelligent beings? He is completely complicit, to say the least, in them drugs being distributed throughout Venezuela. A tactic is to blow a boat out the water. That's not going to solve the problem, though. As long as that dude's in power, they're going to keep coming. We've seen the war on drugs. You could have the ups and the might on them. They're never going to stop. You're talking about billions of dollars worldwide, probably trillions on the black market. They're never going to, the bad guys never going to stop. You got to understand that. That should be part of your tactics. So you got, with strategy, you can't over with your tactics without a strategy. You got to have a strategy. If you doing this as a part of a strategy, then that it'll work. But if it's just tactics, I'm saying, like, after you blow boats out the water, I mean, you're going to stand and hover over them. Them boys been and built tunnels all the way from Venezuela. I'm saying, because I've seen we've done this before, war on drugs in the 80s. I'm saying, like, you got to have a strategy. And if you're saying this government, he a drug dealer president, yeah. Him, man, in Colombia, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You still going to have problems with the cartels. You still ain't going to be able to stop all the way the movement of drugs. But if you put some people in there that'll work with you, and you strengthen up their police departments, and you know what I'm saying, you put the American troops and you train them just like they did in the the same thing they was doing over in the Middle East. In Venezuela, the same thing. And then he could reform them South America, the same thing he did in Iraq. You put the troops over there, troops, no, they done all of, they done built, them American troops done built the whole world. I mean, they got the knowledge to do it. Clean it up. He's doing it everywhere else. But that Venezuela, he need to get up out of there. And ain't no Democrats need to stand in his way. The Congress people and the people, the Aaron Brunette and Kaylin Collins and Abby Phillips and all the investigation and the media people who, yeah, that's their job. Oh, he blowing up boats. Could it be just a regular person? I'm saying the dangerous thing about it, if they find a regular citizen that you blew up that really was not a cartel person, they could charge you as a war criminal. That's huge. That's really huge. It's risky. But what Pete said, how Pete described it, it's not like they just blowing up a boat. They think they're selling drugs. They saying American intelligence got them at the house, putting packages in vehicles, taking the vehicles to the dock, putting the packages on the boat, and then getting on the boat. So if the intelligence got them at the house, they know that's drugs. Because he ain't going to sit there and spill about how they doing it. You don't know the CIA. They might be having drones right on top of them, watching them. But Pete said he got and I trust what he's saying. He ain't going to just be doing no crazy stuff. I believe that they really drug dealers. Because of how he explained it. He said, we watching them come from the house. So if he watching them from the house in Venezuela, think about that. He watching them in a certain spot in Venezuela. And where the spot that they moving from, they're not selling red beans and rice. They're not selling collard greens and cabbage. You know what I'm saying? The spot they move, so he know they drug dealers. He blowing a drug deal out the water, yeah. As far as Russia and the nuclear, testing nuclear weapons, why not? If Putin tests nuclear weapons, yeah, I'm going to test mine too. You want to play mind games? I'll play mind games with you too. You want to test nuclear? Yeah, I'll test mine too. I'm saying, what you going to do? You going to back down all the way into a closet? You said that he cannot have Ukraine. Ain't that what you said? He cannot have all of Ukraine. He's not listening. He wants all of Ukraine. So go back down in the closet. Because if you back down right now, I'm saying when he come back up again, when you going to stand up to him? If you can, you're going to have to stand up to him eventually. If you back down right now, you're going to embolden him. He going to have more power. He going to come at you stronger the next time. I know how a bully work. And so here come the bully again, stronger. And so when you facing him this time, what you going to do? Oh, he
He turned to Kim Jong-un. He shoot nuclear. He touched a nuclear. Oh, he can't touch no nuclear missiles, though. Because we're America. What? Nah, I'm going to test mine, too. I ain't backing down from nothing. That's what Ronald Reagan and them did. John F. Kennedy. They don't care what people say. Ain't backing down from nothing. This America, boy. You better sit down. I've been and plucked you off the map, bruh. I ain't even gonna hit this to United States, bro. This all I'm gonna do, you big ghost. Big Pete, come here, Big Pete. This what we gonna do to that boy. He gone. What? Yeah, that's our ghost. What? What happened? Oh, it was an assassination in the world today, y'all. Who got killed? Oh, what? Oh, I know the CIA had something to do with it. Nah, the Americans didn't have nothing to do with it. But that boy, he out of here, man. He gone. That's how big ghosts get down. Like, real talk. You know what I'm saying? Man, guys, that's my time, Mr. Good Citizen. It's nice to see you back in here, my brother. Ah, you feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, you know, they talk about Diddy. We had various topics, man, but we started off analyzing President Trump's meeting with Chief. Like I said, man, he got some things done a little bit for the farmers. You know what I'm saying? He need to address that more because they hurting bad. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of the tariffs, man. You know, he got the chips, you know, a little bit of stuff done, man, but it wasn't really much like that he could do in that short amount of time. You know what I'm saying? So it's still a lot of work to do. Man, I'll try to look at the stock market real quick because I've been keeping an eye on that stock market, man. Due to the economy, the state that I know the economy is in. I know the state that economy is in. So I've been surprised to see the stock market continually walk into record territory. So I'm going to look at the stock market right now because we got a stream tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure y'all are right here. And the reason why I'm looking at the stock market, because I'm just getting a feeling that something is about to take place. But I don't want to speak on it yet because I don't always be right when I be getting these thoughts. But let's take a look at the stock market and let's see how it's doing. So it looks like the Dow is up right now plus 92.6 points, which means overall it's at 47,614. So it looks pretty well. It looks pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Dow has really never been, I think 46,000 points was the record. I predicted it was going to hit it. It hit it quick. It crossed past that record of 46,000. It's into the 47,000 territory. You know what I'm saying? So it went from record to record territory. And it's at 47,615. So if President Trump keep pushing it, it could go from record to record to record territory at 48,000. But that's not helping the government open. That's not helping the TANF. Their TANF was already cut. Now it's on the verge of not. The truth's not getting paid. I'm saying tomorrow, what I'm going to be saying, my whole argument is pick up the phone and call Hakeem. Not pick up the phone and call Hakeem so Hakeem and Chuck Schumer could come and they could tell you some numbers and you try to troll Hakeem to get him to bully him into making a deal. Not that kind of call Hakeem. President Trump, pick up the phone and call Hakeem. Look, President T, listen, I said pick up the phone and call Bibi Netanyahu. And within 72 hours, he did it. And 72 hours after that, the whole world loving him because you listening to ghosts. You say no? President Trump, pick up the phone, man, and call Hakeem. That's greatness. You get a deal done and you the one that's dictating it, the terms, that's greatness. Hakeem, I'll get back with you, man, on that cost of living right after we finish this. That's greatness, man. That Trump voter who's gonna see her insurance skyrocket. I'm talking about hit the ceiling, my guy. She going from paying $200 some dollars or $400 some dollars a month to $2,000. All right, Angelo. I'll see you later, my brother. I'm finna get down to. Why you can't have tariffs? Why you can't have tariffs and income tax at the same time? I'm saying with a $38 trillion deficit, I will have tariffs, I will have income tax, I would be selling shoes, I would be selling vacations. Anything I could put the United States of America on, where USA had at, all the proceeds going to the tariffs. We got USA shoes. We don't got Trump shoes. We got USA shoes. All the you see what I'm saying? I would be having any kind of way I could bring up a revenue stream of income into the US economy to offset that $38 trillion deficit, and not just offset it, start paying more than interest payments and start cutting into it. If you could reduce the debt by $4 trillion over the next 10 years, that is a huge victory. Because we know instead of it being a $47 trillion debt over the next 10 years, you taking it down to $34 trillion, then I mean you just hand that to the next generation and you try to hope they'll take it down to $29 trillion. I'm saying if you don't increase, if just making it go down $1 trillion or $2 trillion, if President Trump could get it down to $35 trillion before he leave the White House, that's a huge victory. If it can stop where it's at, it'll be okay. But I'm saying with that deficit where it's at and it's growing, and all you paying is the interest, and the interest payment is almost too much to afford. And you trying to cut Social Security, you trying to cut your light bill, your rent, and all your bills so you could pay this interest on this credit card. You trying to cut all of Americans' entitlement program. Those are America's bills. Seniors got to get paid. Poor people got to eat. And you're trying to cut all of this stuff so you can give the rich people. I'm saying it's not working out, man. Not in that current form and state. It's not working out. That's what I'm saying. Mr. Good Citizen, I think President Trump and Scott B got financial literacy. It's just, it takes time and it's a lot of work and you got to be on point. It's a lot to it. It's a lot of politics in it. It's some regulations and stuff you want to do and stuff you can't do and stuff you try to do and stuff that they won't allow to be done. You know what I'm saying? So I can't necessarily say that, you know what I'm saying, they don't have financial literacy. Actually, I think the opposite. I think they have a lot of financial literacy with those gentlemen within our government. But I'm just saying, though, like, you know, you just judge them off for what's being done and what's not being done. No. Not meaning that you don't have no money. You know what I'm saying? Debt and deficit are but I mean, it's almost the same thing. Your deficit is a debt. Ain't that right, Mr. Good Citizen? That $37 trillion is a debt. It's a deficit. It's a debt. A trade deficit isn't a debt. If you're talking about, well, I mean, I guess it kind of, in a way, it is a debt. If the United States had $1 trillion deficit with China, that don't mean that that's not a debt with China, but it kind of is, because China is getting out on you $1 trillion. So really, you $1 trillion, it's not a debt. I'm saying you getting goods for what you paying for. They getting goods for what they paying for. You get is trade. You getting goods for what you paying for. But what I'm saying, at the end of y'all's exchange of goods, they're getting $1 trillion more in their economy than you are. It's not a debt, but I mean, kind of like, I look at it kind of, it's the same ball game. It's their cousins. Because if you in a race with China, they getting richer than you off of your own trade. Off of you. They taking what you give them and they giving you something and they getting two to your $1. See, that's what I'm saying. You start all that smart person stuff for deficit and the debt. That's why you got 38 trillion in debt. That's why we 38 trillion in debt, because we can't be doing that smart people stuff. Not all the time. It don't take no genius to figure this out. You giving them 10 oranges and they giving you 5 apples. And in the end of it, they paying $1 and you paying $20. They getting out on you, whether you call it a deficit, a debt, whatever you want to call it, they getting out on you. That's got to be fixed. $38 trillion. That's a debt deficit, whatever you want to call that. Yeah, that's a problem. That's how I look at it. I understand what a deficit, a trade deficit is. I understand it's not a debt, but that, to me, that's neither here nor there. Who cares about it being a debt? Who cares about a $1 trillion trade deficit with China being a debt? No one cares about that being a debt or not a debt. All that matters is China is winning and you losing. That's all you need to focus on, being all smart and getting the 1.4 trillion and the 1.1 trillion. See, that's why you losing, because you focusing on the wrong stuff. I don't need to know if it's 1.8739 trillion or if it's 1 trillion. None of that matters. All I know is that you getting 10 oranges and I'm getting 5 apples, and you paying $1 and I'm paying $10. And we geopolitical foes, meaning we rivals. They getting rich off of you, dumb. That's what that's called. How much is China's national debt or deficit or whatever? You see what I'm saying? None of that matters. You just got to stay focused on what matters. And that's how you don't get beat. But Mr. Good Citizen, you might say no way to pay it back, but you can pay it back. If you raise revenue, you can. Everything I'm saying, I know what I'm saying. Tariff is revenue. That's brand new revenue. Whether he uses it to pay the debt, whether he uses it for roads, whether he uses it for Social Security, or whether he uses it for a ballroom, it's new revenue. Tariff money, that's revenue you weren't getting before. So yes, you can use that to pay back a debt. Yes, that does help slash deficits and trade deficits, because you bringing in more money because you get more money off the stuff that you bringing in trade. It's common sense to me. So yes, I would get tariff revenue, taxes. I'll be selling tennis shoes. I'll be selling properties. I'll be selling vacation homes. I would make America a business so I can make money more than I need to pay back some of that 38 trillion. So I'm saying, yeah, tariff revenue, if he could bring in, if somebody knew what they was doing, say he brought in 500 million or 500 billion in tariff revenue in 1 year. That's brand new revenue. With that 500 billion, if I affected 1,000 business or 10,000 businesses and 100,000 farmers, all I will have to do is take some of that 500 billion like he did before, give it to the farmers, give it to the businesses I heard, and I'll just tweak my policies a little bit to stop the bleed. And if I know if they hurt that bad, some of that money I collected in tariff revenue, I'll just give it right back to them. But I would still keep collecting new revenue for the United States, because the U.S. Treasury needs money. That's why he over there getting investments to help counter that $38 trillion in debt. We made 28 trillion in new investments. You got a $38 trillion debt. Most Americans don't care about that debt, but that debt is important, man. And we working to fix that. There's ways that you could fix that. Yeah, you do. It's gonna be almost incredibly hard to do that whenever 38 trillion is something serious. But I'm saying, why add to it if you could subtract a trillion? You don't have to take it all. He ain't expecting to conquer the world. Just whatever you can, man. That's how I see it. That's what's happening, man. So I support tariffs, man. I'm one of the few people who will say I support tariffs. I do not support cuts to tariff. I do not support the Republicans not willing to solve the problem of those healthcare premiums immediately. President Trump need to forget what all the other Republicans saying, and he just needs to come out and pick up the phone and call Hakeem. That's the best. That's the best trade deal you'll get, President Trump, is a deal with the Democrats. That's better than that'll do better for the stock market and make people feel more comfortable to know that both sides of the government is working together to make their lives better. This ain't no kumbaya story. This is a greatness story. If you want to be Bill Clinton and get that kind of respect, pick up the phone and call Hakeem. You picked up the phone and called Bibi, and you made that happen. Why you can't do it with Hakeem? You don't let your personal feelings stop you from greatness. That's like personal stuff. We're not trying to be personal. We're trying to help the American people in their lives, and you trying to be great. That's two birds with one stone. The way you get to greatness is by being able to, if you can't destroy and defeat your enemy, which he's not going to be able to do that to the Democratic Party, reach out your hand to him. That's a different way you could lead them. It's by extending the hand. And you shake the hand. You could be a leader like this too. Because he willing to make a deal with us now. So we'll listen to him a little bit. We'll work with him a little bit. That's what I'm saying, because if you don't, the government going to stay shut down and you could pull and try any trick. I'm saying if you pull all I'm saying, President Trump, imagine having a great presidency, great stock market, all that stuff, and then you pull this filibuster thing. So the next time, whenever the Democrats take over, you could be the reason why we got Adolf Hitler #2. Because I'm saying if you get rid of the filibuster, the next time they take over, they coming after our Tom Homan #1 on the list. They going to investigate all of y'all. And you giving them extra powers if that pendulum always swing. If it swing to the left, as soon as it swing to the left and they get back in control, they shooting Scud missiles out. Every last one of y'all. Y'all should know that. That's what's coming. So I'm saying, why go through that and play that? And that's just, to me, that's just way too much going on. If that was me and I was dealing with that situation, I'd pick up the phone and I would call Hakeem and I would work out a deal with the Democrats. That's not bending. That's not folding. That's looking like somebody with maturity and leadership. Instead of playing some political game of hardball with the American people. This ain't Hakeem talking. This is Ghost talking. Pick up the phone, call Hakeem. You look like a leader. You look like you got leadership. You look like you're not childish or petty. You look like you're not immature. You look like you care about the American people. The stock market go up. All the Democrats going to start saying good things about you. They'll be talking good about you. You start feeling that momentum shifting. From America being a hatred of Trump or a never Trump to they just start slowly but surely the entire nation like they getting sweet on you, even Governor Newsom. Shoot, if I have a President Trump on Governor Newsom's show. That's how ghosts get down though. That's how you be great. You gotta get the whole to love you. You can't just be loved by MAGA. Bill Clinton wasn't just loved by, Barack Obama isn't just loved by Democrats. He loved by a lot of Republicans too, and a lot of independents. A lot of black people. Thank you for that donation. Y'all tell me if I'm not right. Obama's loved by a lot of other people, a lot of different people, man, besides just Democrats. Bill Clinton is loved by more than just Democrats. Newt Gingrich and them, that he crossed the party line. He crossed the line and called Hakeem. I want to see it, man. I'm looking at President Trump. I'm thinking, nah, he ain't got it in him, bro. He can't do that. That take a lot of humility, man. It take a lot of humility. It take a lot of perseverance. It take a lot of character. It take a lot of compassion and empathy and respect. But that's what you need to be great. You might can achieve greatness some other kind of way, but it's really risky. I'm saying the clearest way to do it is to call Hakeem. Your stock market gonna hit 48,000. It might mess around and hit 50,000. The confidence of the consumers in America and even across the world will grow substantially if they see you working with that other side to at least do the basic fundamental thing of opening up the government in which you are charged of running. It don't matter how many political points that you score by blaming the Democrats, you are still the leader of the American government. Pick up the phone, President Trump, and call Hakeem. Ghosts ain't gonna be telling you to do the wrong thing. This is the time right now. Pick the phone up and call Hakeem. Get that done, man. It's been way too long. The longest government shutdown in U.S. history coming in a few hours. Call Hakeem, man. That should be business number one of America. Pulling the filibuster, all that stuff ain't gonna solve nothing. If you reopen the government, you still gonna have to go back to this point of those health care subsidies. So I'm saying it's gonna make it look like they won still. You just did it your way instead. That's like little kid stuff. I'm saying what I would do, we talking about greatness now. I would pick up the phone and call Hakeem. That's my time, y'all. Y'all seen yesterday it was raining out there. Today, bro, it's so gorgeous out there. Tell me if I'm wrong. Y'all, it's real windy. But it's gorgeous out here in New England. That being said, man, y'all guys, if y'all don't know, I'm a Christian, man. I love God. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I wake up every day. Yesterday when it was raining, bro, I wake up, I praise God. Today it's not raining, it's sunny, man. I wake up and I praise God. Not sunny, but at least the sun's shining and it's windy. Bro, I praise God, man. I'm a Christian. I believe Jesus Christ came to this earth to suffer, bleed, and die on the cross for our sins. I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. He is God in the flesh as a human. And I believe he wants to save every single human being in the world. You say, Ghost, what is saved? It's a prayer. It's a prayer admitting that you are a sinner. It's a prayer acknowledging your need for a savior. It's a prayer acknowledging that Jesus Christ exists as the Son of God and he came to this earth and he suffered, bled, and died for your sins. And his blood is my pardon. His blood. See, the thing about God, when God give you a pardon, your sin is still got to get paid for. So if you don't accept Jesus and what he did, he already paid for it, but you just got to accept it. You got to humble yourself down and you got to believe. And after you accept it, you got to follow him. And that's how you go to heaven. That's how you get saved. I'm not trying to preach to you. If you don't want to become a Christian, that's on you. But that's what I did. And I changed my life. I went from that side of the law to this side of the law. Completely 360, 720. You know what I'm saying? Because I have God, I get in situations that's bigger than me. I just had a case, bro. I'll put them cases at God's feet. And on God's time, he closing. He brings me victories as he sees fit. You know what I'm saying? You get in situations bigger than you. Where do you turn? Who do you go to if you don't believe in God? I believe in God, man. I lay that at God's feet, man, and I pray. Every day I wake up, I'm grateful. Every day I wake up, I'm thankful. I say every single day, this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I'm gonna say this though, Tam Lee, I just added you as a moderator.